College football is just around the corner, with the start of the ACC preseason taking place July 15th to 17th in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the 2026 ACC football kickoff. The head coaches and top players from all 17 schools kicking off the season with media interviews and other obligations. The league is among the most interesting with their coaches, too. Miami coach Mario Cristobal leads a group of coaches with plenty of storylines for next season after leading the Hurricanes back to the national championship game. So does Clemson's Dabo Swinney and Virginia Tech's James Franklin, who's in his first season with the Hokies after a long tenure at Penn State. Who are the ACC's best coaches heading into 2026? Here's a look at USA Today's preseason head coaches rankings in the conference. Cristobal put together one of the most impressive coaching seasons in recent memory in 2025, leading Miami through a college football playoff gauntlet to the national championship game. The Hurricanes' defense dominated down the stretch, although they narrowly earned a CFP bid over Notre Dame, which beat them in Week 1 of the season. They upset Ohio State and took down Texas A&M and Ole Miss before playing Indiana closer than anyone in the postseason. Cristobal went 12-13 his first two seasons at Miami, but has a 23-6 record the past two seasons and has created a strong, defensive-minded culture similar to the Hurricanes of old. One of the most historically successful active head coaches in college football, Swinney has 2 national titles and 9 conference championships at Clemson, but has fallen off in recent years. The Tigers had a disappointing 7-6 finish last season despite having loads of NFL talent and being a trendy preseason national championship pick. Swinney and Clemson are 26-14 the last 3 seasons, which is a step down from their dominance of the 2010s. The 18th-year head coach is still one of the best coaches in the conference, but he has to prove he's still got it. Big Ten coaches. New leader in rankings with Ryan Day no longer number 1. SEC coaches. Kirby Smart leads this year's rankings. Then it's tricky. James Franklin took a quick downturn at Penn State after leading the historic program to consistent success at an important time in its history. Franklin took the Nittany Lions to the CFP semifinals in 2024-25, but was fired mid-season last October after dropping consecutive games to Oregon, UCLA, and Northwestern. Penn State had huge expectations last season, although Franklin was a huge reason for how the team earned those expectations due to his success through 12 seasons. He finished his tenure with 5 top 10 ranked finishes for New Year's 6 bowl wins and a CFP semifinals appearance. He's looking to prove last year was just an aberration, although with a new school at Virginia Tech. Exclusive. James Franklin didn't want to let Penn State off the hook financially. Here's why he did. Lashley has been impressive in his 4 seasons with SMU, winning 11 games in back-to-back seasons in 2023 and 2024 before winning 9 games last season. The 5th-year head coach also led the Mustangs to their first-ever CFP appearance as a first-year ACC program that made the jump to Power 4. Lashley is building SMU into one of the top programs of the ACC each season, but is still looking to take the next step as a program nationally. Nothing about Brome is flashy, but his teams are consistently successful. The 4th-year coach has a 28-12 record at Louisville in 3 seasons and has helped bring the Cardinals back to prominence. Brome won 9 games and 8 games in back-to-back seasons, respectively, at Purdue, a tough school to win at, before returning to his alma mater and attracted interest from bigger suitors last offseason. He has been consistent at Louisville, but can Brome take the Cardinals to new heights? He has rebuilt the culture at Georgia Tech, bringing back a smash-mouth brand of football that fans might expect from a former offensive line coach. The 47-year-old former Alabama assistant went 9-4 last season, and the Yellow Jackets at one point were ranked number 7 nationally before ending the year with losses in 4 of their last 5 games. He has also shown a strong ability to recruit, landing strong transfer portal and high school classes. Georgia Tech looked like the best team in the ACC for points of last year, and is aiming to get back to that at a consistent rate. Required reading. 5 college football sleepers who could contend for national title. Diaz has overall done a solid job at Duke, but his tenure has been a bit confusing. He won the ACC championship last season, although the Blue Devils went 7-5 in the regular season, reaching the title game due to a long list of tiebreakers. He has been solid, which is all you can ask for at Duke, which will never be a football school. He has an 18-9 record in 2 seasons. The former Miami coach is certainly meeting expectations and could be a candidate for a better job after another strong year. Dickert quietly had one of the better first seasons with a new school in 2025, leading Wake Forest to a 9-4 record with a Duke's Mayo Bowl win over Mississippi State. It was the school's first winning season since 2022. Another strong season for Dickert, who was 23-20 in 4 seasons at Washington State, could make him a hot name in the coaching carousel once again. Pat Narduzzi has won 8 or more games in 6 of his 11 seasons, with his best finish coming in 2021, when the Panthers won 11 games thanks to Heisman Trophy finalist Kenny Pickett. Narduzzi and Pittsburgh have finished ranked in the top 25 twice during his tenure, and usually find themselves near the top of middle pack in the ACC standings. Pittsburgh is capable of blow-up seasons under Narduzzi, but the expectations aren't much more than that, mostly due to the school's place in the pecking order. Elliott was on the hot seat entering last season, but coached Virginia to one of its best finishes in years, as the Cavaliers finished number 16 in the rankings with an 11-3 record. Elliott was 11-23 in his first 3 seasons at Virginia after a long tenure at Clemson, where he won the Broyles Award as the nation's top assistant in 2017 as co-offensive coordinator. With another strong season, Elliott could prove his rebuild is working and move up multiple spots in the rankings. Similar to Narduzzi, Dave Doeren and NC State are never bad, but are hardly very good. The Wolfpack have won 9 games 4 times in Doeren's 13 seasons with only 3 losing seasons sprinkled in. NC State, though, has never finished ranked higher than number 19 and has never won double-digit games. He meets expectations of the program more focused on basketball, though. Brown would have been much higher on this list a year ago after going 10-3 in his first season at Syracuse. The former Georgia assistant didn't build on that success in 2025. Finishing 3-9 in his second season at the helm. Brown can still prove last season was an aberration, especially with quarterback Steve Ongeli missing most of the season due to injury. Norvell is a tough coach to grade. He did lead the Seminoles to one of their best seasons in recent memory with a 13-1 record and an ACC title in 2023, but he has also led the program to a pair of wildly disappointing seasons, especially by Florida State standards the past 2 years. Florida State is 7-17 the last 2 seasons, including the worst season in program history in 2024 after going 2-10. His pair of double-digit win seasons made him a hot commodity on the open market, and he even reportedly garnered interest for Alabama's opening after Nick Saban retired. Now he's likely on the hot seat. Lupoy has been a hot name for a few seasons now after multiple seasons as Oregon's defensive coordinator under Dan Lanning. He finally found his spot as a first-year head coach at Cal, where he is poised for a solid first season with quarterback Jaron Kiwisaga-Paludial. He hasn't coached in his first game yet, so it's hard to put him any higher than the bottom. But it wouldn't be surprising at all if he ends up skyrocketing up these rankings ahead of next season. In a similar boat as Lupoy, Pritchard has a tough task ahead at Stanford, one of the worst teams in the conference. But with general manager Andrew Luck leading the program, maybe Pritchard can get the Cardinal back on the right track. Pritchard was most recently the quarterback's coach for the Washington Commanders, helping lead Jaden Daniels the past 2 seasons. The former Stanford offensive coordinator has his work cut out for him as he returns for the head job. O'Brien went 7-6 in his first season at Boston College, but failed to build momentum with a terrible 2-10 finish in 2025. After a successful start to his tenure with the Houston Texans, winning 4 AFC South titles from 2014 to 2019, he was fired after a 0-4 start in 2020. O'Brien then spent multiple seasons as the offensive coordinator at Alabama and then the New England Patriots in 2023 and Ohio State in 2024, winning a national title with the program. O'Brien went 15-9 in 2 seasons as Penn State's head coach from 2012 to 13 before bouncing for the NFL, but his college head coaching career largely hasn't been all that impressive. Everyone knows Bill Belichick's resume with the New England Patriots, winning 6 Super Bowls as head coach from 2001 to 23. He's one of the best NFL coaches ever, But his one season so far at North Carolina was far from a success, as the Tar Heels went 4-8 and looked largely unorganized and dysfunctional at times. The 74-year-old is also the oldest coach in college football and still has a lot to prove at the college level. It was an experiment hire for North Carolina, but paired with his large salary making him one of the highest-paid coaches in college football, he'll need to start winning games. This article originally appeared on USA Today. ACC football coach rankings move Mario Cristobal to front ahead of Dabo Swinney.